Hi, I'm Noah. Today I'm going to be making a video about seizures. A lot of people don't know this, but seizures are actually very, very common. More than 3 million cases each year in the United States alone are reported of people either having seizures or having seizure-like activity. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the causes of seizures, the different types, and also how to treat someone if they are seizing. Causes of epilepsy and seizures. So there's a lot we don't know, but there also is a lot that we do know. So some of the causes are like a brain disorder, like any type of or altercations to the brain in any way, kind of like physical, even if it is chemical stuff. The next is like family history. If you have people in your family who have had epilepsy or seizures, you're more likely to get it. The next is any abnormalities at birth, like diseases at birth, or pretty much anything that could go wrong to where you could lose oxygen in any type of way. The next is diseases while you're like growing or through an adult stage. If you have any diseases that permanently affects your brain or your body, that will increase your chances. The next is like drugs, alcohol, lead poisoning, any of those toxins that alter your body in any way. Trauma, like any type of physical activity or a physical force, like a car wreck or like a big hit to your head, that cause that permanent damage and that permanent like cause or likelihood to get epilepsy or have seizures. The next is circulating, so like blood circulation to get into your head and your brain and your body, and pretty much get that oxygen that your body needs. The lack of that will cause seizures and epilepsy. And the last one is tissue growth, like tumors in your brain or anything like that. That also goes along with brain disorder, like you have that altercation to your brain. So as I talk about the different ways to treat seizures, I'm going to go ahead and put on the screen some videos of the different types of seizures so people know what to look for. The next thing we're going to talk about is the treatment of someone who is seizing or having a seizure. So the first thing that if you go up and find someone who is seizing, you need to make sure that you stay calm. So don't panic, don't like go out and like create like a big ruckus, and stay calm, kind of help the situation, because this is a high stress, so it is important to stay calm. If you see someone seizing and you see them fall, try to catch them, kind of move any objects, kind of protect their head if they're too big, just to kind of avoid that impact of that head trauma that they could suffer. The next thing is if you see them like have any tight clothing on, especially around the neck, kind of loosen up those clothes so they're able to breathe and able to get that blood flowing still. Then you need to turn them on their side. Make sure that you turn them on the side, so that way if there is any of the foaming at the mouth or the frothing, spit, saliva, they can get out of that so it doesn't go back in them and down their respiratory system and cause choking or suffocation. Don't leave the scene. Stay there, be alert with them, kind of just be there for them until medical care arrives or until they're done seizing, depending on how serious it is. And really the last thing you really need to do is kind of record the info in your head, kind of get like where it happened, how it happened, what symptoms did you see, kind of get an overall sense of the surroundings. The last thing I'm going to talk about is when to call 911 when someone is seizing. So the first one is if they've never ever seized before in their life, like this is their first time ever having a seizure. Difficulty breathing, if they're having trouble breathing after the seizure or obviously during the seizure and they're kind of suffocating, you can kind of tell. If the seizure lasts for longer than 5 minutes, that's a key indication to call 911. And if they had a seizure and then they immediately have another seizure after that, you also need to call 911. If they're injured at any time during the seizure, like even on the fall, if you can tell any type of like injuries in the arms or even like a head injury, like you can kind of tell that they're kind of either concussed or any type of other stuff. If they're around water, you for sure need to call 911, kind of make sure that they don't have any of that water in their lungs or suffocating. And the last one is if they have previous health conditions like heart disease or diabetes. So these are the kind of the general things of when to call 911 if you see someone having a seizing. Thank you guys for watching this video, and hope you learned something.